Welcome to tonight's bedtime story, crafted to help you unwind, relax, and gently drift off into a peaceful sleep. In this video, we will guide you through a calming tale that will ease your mind and soothe your thoughts, followed by the tranquil sounds of rain, perfect for creating an atmosphere of serenity. This combination of a soothing bedtime story and the calming sound of rain is ideal for anyone looking to let go of the stresses of the day and find comfort in a peaceful, restful environment. Get comfortable, take a deep breath, and let the story guide you into a place of calm. As the story draws to a close, the gentle sounds of rain will take over, filling the space with a soft, rhythmic pattern that will help you relax even further. This time is just for you, a moment to rest, recharge, and simply enjoy the soothing silence and natural sounds around you. In the vast expanse of the night sky, there was a small star named Nova. Unlike the other stars that twinkled brightly, casting their light across the heavens, Nova's light was faint, almost imperceptible. Each night, she watched as the brighter stars danced above her, their beams piercing the darkness with vibrant energy. Nova longed to be like them, shining boldly for all to see. She wished she could glitter and sparkle, filling the night with her radiant light. Why can't I shine as brightly as the others? Nova often wondered, her tiny glow flickering in the immense dark sky. Why do I feel so small and invisible? Night after night, she tried harder, focusing all her energy into shining brighter. Yet her light remained faint and unremarkable. The other stars sparkled in beautiful constellations, their brightness lighting up the entire sky. Nova, however, could barely be seen by anyone below. She felt unnoticed, alone, and somewhat forgotten. One evening, as the sky became thick with clouds and a soft moonlight shone across the heavens, Nova felt a warm glow beside her. It was Orion, an old and wise star who had been part of the sky for centuries. His steady, glowing presence was known by every star and every soul that gazed upon the night sky. Nova, Orion said softly, I see you are troubled. Why do you hide your light so dimly? Nova hesitated for a moment before replying. I want to shine like the others, she said, her voice barely a whisper. I want to be bright and strong, like the stars that make the constellations. But no matter how hard I try, my light is so faint. Orion looked at her with compassion. Every star has a purpose, little one. Some stars are meant to shine brightly and light the way, while others are meant to glow softly, providing warmth and comfort. There is no right way to shine, only the way that feels true to you. You will find your place when the time is right. But how will I know when the time is right? Nova asked, her heart heavy with uncertainty. How do I find my purpose in the vast sky? Orion smiled and flickered gently. Trust in yourself. You do not need to compare your light to others. Your glow is already within you, waiting for the right moment. It will grow when the world needs it most. With those words, Nova felt a small sense of comfort. She didn't quite understand what Orion meant, but she took solace in the idea that she didn't need to force herself to be something she wasn't. For the first time, she decided to let go of the pressure to be bright and simply allow herself to be. The next few nights passed, and Nova remained in her spot in the sky, shining softly. She looked down at the earth below, watching as the lights of the cities flickered like tiny fireflies. She saw the shadows of mountains and forests, the quiet hum of life in the world. But she still felt like an insignificant speck in the vastness of the sky. One night, as Nova gazed at the world beneath her, she noticed something unusual. The sky, once clear, had become overcast with dark clouds. The clouds were thick and swirling, blocking out the light of the stars. The night seemed darker than it had ever been, and Nova could feel the weight of the darkness pressing down upon the world below. It was as if the whole world had forgotten the stars. Nova's heart stirred with a sense of urgency. Someone needs light, she thought, her tiny glow flickering with an unfamiliar strength. Maybe this is my moment. Maybe I am meant to shine now. She focused all her energy, drawing from the light that had been quietly building inside her. At first, her glow remained faint, but as she concentrated, she felt her light grow warmer, stronger. She felt the light radiating from her in gentle waves, like a soft beacon cutting through the dark clouds. As she shone brighter, the clouds began to part, just enough for a sliver of light to break through. To Nova's surprise, the people below began to look up. In the midst of the darkness, they saw the soft, steady glow coming from the sky above. It wasn't as brilliant as the other stars, but it was steady, and it offered a sense of hope in the overwhelming darkness. Nova's heart filled with warmth as she saw the people gazing up at her light. They followed her glow, guiding themselves toward safety, their paths lit by the small, steady star. Nova had found her purpose, not by being the brightest, but by offering a gentle light to those who needed it most. The clouds continued to clear, and as the sky brightened, the world below slowly returned to normal. People continued to look up at the stars, but Nova now knew that her light had made a difference. She had helped them find their way. As the night passed, and the darkness finally gave way to the soft light of dawn, Nova felt a deep sense of peace settle within her. Her light had been exactly what was needed. Not the brightest, not the most dazzling, but steady and reliable. She realized that her purpose had always been within her. She just needed to trust in her own glow. Orion appeared again beside her, his bright, steady light shining across the sky. "You have done well, Nova," he said with pride. "You have found your place in the sky." Nova smiled, her glow warming as she reflected on the journey she had taken. "Thank you, Orion. I understand now. It's not about how bright I shine, but about shining when I am needed." Orion's voice was filled with wisdom. "Exactly, Nova. Every star has its own role, its own time to shine. Your light is unique, and it has a place in this vast sky, just as every star does." From that night forward, Nova no longer compared herself to the other stars. She knew that her light was special, and that when the time came, she would shine brightly in her own way. The sky was vast, and each star had a place to fill. Whether big or small, bright or faint, every star had its purpose. And as the days and nights passed, Nova continued to shine in her quiet corner of the sky. She found peace in knowing that she didn't need to compete with the other stars. Her light was enough, and when the world needed it, she would be there, glowing softly in the vast night sky. The night was never again the same for Nova. She had found her purpose, and in doing so, she understood that her light, however small, was a part of something much greater. A quiet glow that guided, comforted, and helped others when they needed it most. And so, Nova remained a steady, constant presence in the sky, shining softly and brightly in her own unique way. Her journey had shown her that no light was too small, and every star had its time to shine. Under the quiet night sky, Maren stood on the deck of an old wooden sailboat, rocked by the gentle rhythm of the ocean waves. She had always felt a deep connection with the sea, its vast horizon, the mystery of its depths, the soothing cadence of the waves. The air was fresh and salty, tinged with the scent of seaweed and distant wildflowers. Around her, the open ocean stretched out, like a vast black mirror reflecting the shimmering starlight. Maren was headed for a hidden realm, a place spoken of only in quiet whispers and ancient tales, Calum Isle. Legend said it was an enchanted island, a sanctuary where weary souls could find rest and forgotten dreams could be rekindled. She had been drawn to it all her life, its call like a faint, comforting song, always playing just beyond her hearing. Tonight, the moon was full and bright, guiding her like a guardian spirit across the calm waters. As Maren sailed deeper into the night, her thoughts softened, and her mind began to wander back to the stories her grandmother had told her as a child. Stories of enchanted lands, mysterious creatures, and ancient trees with roots so deep they reached the center of the earth. She remembered sitting by her grandmother's side, eyes wide with wonder as the old woman described Calum Isle's beauty. The thought filled Maren with a peaceful anticipation. Now, here she was, setting sail into that very dream. Hours passed in serene silence, and just as the first light of dawn began to break over the horizon, Maren saw it. Calum Isle appeared in the distance, a silhouette framed against the gentle blush of morning light. It rose out of the ocean like a forgotten dream, covered in lush green forests that shimmered with a silvery hue. As she steered the boat closer, the air around her grew still, filled with a sense of quiet reverence, as if the island itself was alive, welcoming her presence. When she finally stepped onto the soft, cool sand of the island's shore, Maren felt a sense of peace wash over her, a tranquility that reached into her very soul. She gazed around, taking in the beauty of the island. The forest was thick with trees, whose branches were woven with vines and soft blossoms, creating a canopy that filtered the light into a gentle, golden glow. Birds with iridescent feathers flitted from branch to branch, their songs blending into a melody that sounded like a lullaby. She felt as if she had entered a sacred space, a place untouched by time. Maren followed a winding path that led deeper into the heart of the island. The air was filled with the scent of jasmine and lavender, and each step she took felt light, as if the earth itself was lifting her forward. Eventually, the path led her to a glade where a large, ancient tree stood. Its bark was gnarled and thick, its branches stretching wide like open arms, inviting her to rest beneath its shelter. Maren approached the tree, feeling a sense of awe at its quiet wisdom. She placed her hand on its rough bark and closed her eyes, feeling a connection as old as time. With a sigh, she sank down at the base of the tree, leaning against its sturdy trunk. She felt as though she could hear faint whispers in the breeze, secrets carried through the ages, stories of those who had come before her seeking peace and renewal. The weight of the world seemed to melt away, leaving her with a profound sense of contentment. As she sat there, her eyes grew heavy, and she felt herself drifting into a gentle sleep. In her dreams, Marin found herself wandering through the island, surrounded by soft light and endless fields of wildflowers that stretched as far as she could see. She could hear laughter, distant yet comforting, like the memories of loved ones echoing through her mind. The dream was vivid, yet peaceful, and she felt as if she was floating through a world where only beauty and kindness existed. She breathed in deeply, filling her lungs with the scent of the flowers and the sea, feeling herself become part of the island, as if she belonged here. When she awoke, the sun was high in the sky, casting warm beams through the leaves. Marin stretched, feeling a calm she hadn't felt in years. Her heart was light, and her mind was clear. She knew that the island had given her something invaluable, a reminder of the beauty and peace that existed beyond the noise of everyday life. She stayed on the island a while longer, walking its paths, sitting by the shore, and breathing in the tranquil air. As evening approached, Marin knew it was time to leave. She made her way back to the boat, feeling the island's silent farewell as she stepped aboard. The ocean was calm as she began her journey home, the water shimmering under the setting sun. She looked back one last time, watching as Caelum Isle slowly faded into the distance, its presence lingering in her heart like a gentle melody. The island had given her a piece of itself, a quiet reminder that peace was always within reach, a treasure she could carry with her wherever she went. And as she sailed back into the night, Marin knew that Caelum Isle would always be waiting for her, a place of rest and renewal, a hidden realm just beyond the horizon, calling her back whenever her soul needed peace. It was a quiet evening when the decision was made to enter the forest. Under the light of a full moon, the trees stood tall and still, their shadows stretching across the ground. The path ahead was narrow but inviting, and with each step taken deeper into the woods, the world outside seemed to fade away. The forest was silent, save for the rustle of leaves and the occasional creak of ancient trees. The air was fresh with the scent of pine and earth, and every step felt as though it was guided by something older than time itself. The deeper into the forest they ventured, the more the world outside seemed distant, irrelevant. After a while, the path led to a clearing where an immense tree stood in the center, its gnarled branches reaching toward the sky. The tree felt ancient, wise, as though it had witnessed countless seasons and carried within it the stories of the earth. Drawn to its presence, a hand was placed upon its rough bark. A sense of calm washed over the traveler, and the silence around them grew deeper, more profound. Sitting beneath the tree, time seemed to stretch, or perhaps it ceased to exist entirely. There was no need to rush, no need to think. The peace of the forest was enough. Every breath was a reminder of the stillness that surrounded them, of the timelessness of the earth. The mind quieted, the body relaxed, and for a moment, everything was as it should be. Sleep soon took over, and the dreams that followed were filled with the quiet whispers of the forest, guiding the traveler deeper into the heart of the woods. There was no past or future here, only the present, only peace. When they awoke, the first light of dawn was breaking across the sky, and the forest seemed to bid them farewell. With a final look at the ancient tree, they turned to leave, carrying with them the peace of the woods, knowing that it would always be there, waiting to offer its calm whenever it was needed most.